I have a friend who actually shot an elk in BC, in British Columbia, and they didn't know it, but the elk expired right next to a wolf den.
Oh, what?
And the wolves tried to claim the elk.
They like came out and stood over it?
He and the guy that he was with had their back to a tree, and they shot and killed 3 attacking wolves. Wow. And he killed 2 of them with a bow and arrow. Jesus. And the other guy killed 1 with a rifle. And they were like almost out of bullets, and he had 1 arrow left. And they're surrounded by wolves. But they had killed enough. So, you know, wolves, they do this... they do like a roll call. They howl, and they see who responds, and they realized that they had lost 3. And so they bailed, and they took off out of the area. But they were in the den. He said there was bones in there. Jeez. And then they realized like that they just were hunting, and they shot an elk, and it just happened to be right where the wolves had a den. I have one of the skulls at home on my desk.
Of the wolves?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
The story's nuts when John tells the story. Like
Is that John Dudley?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. There's a video of it. You can watch it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
When he's telling the story, it's like, he's like, you know, you could see him like going back to the moment. It's fucking crazy.
So that sounds like a scene out of The Grey.
Yes.
You know, they're like in the den and like
he
back
was
to back.
In the den. Yeah.
I spend my life working with animals that are considered dangerous, and there's wolves, bears, there's a handful of others. Like, you just don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but it's just like, it's just a no-win situation.
We had Glenn Villeneuve from that show Life Below Zero.
Oh, yeah, I know the show.
Yeah, and he was on the podcast recently, and he was talking about the time that he got chased by wolves.
Okay.
And this was also on camera. Like, he's got video footage of this and photographic footage of this, where he's living in this little tiny shack that's right next to a lake, and these wolves had killed a moose, and they were in the middle of this frozen lake. There was 20 of them. It was a huge wolf pack.
That's
enormous.
That is an enormous wolf pack.
Yeah, he's got all the photos of this all on his Facebook page. See if you can pull that up. Pull up Glenn Villeneuve.
20 wolves in a pack?
It's
John
amazing. There's John Dudley with one of the wolves that he killed that was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Steal his elk. They were running at him. They were running at him full clip. He shot 2 wolves that were running at him.
Wow.
He said they were charging at him full clip, and he's at full draw, and it's whap, and you know, he kills one, and then another one comes running down. Bang! They kill that one. He only carries a 4-arrow quiver.
Right.
So he had 1 arrow that he killed the elk, 2 arrows that he killed wolves,
1 left.
1 arrow left, and he's got his back to a tree. And the guy he's with had 3 bullets.
Jeez. No sidearm, nothing.
Nothing. They were just elk hunting.
Right.
You know, they're like, fuck.
Jeez.
Yeah, so see this Glenn Villeneuve picture. So he's got a series of amazing photographs that he took from his shack, and they chased him. They chased him back to his cat. He got close to them, like within 100 yards or so, to take photographs. He's trying to take these and they started circling him and looking at him, and then he starts backing up, and they start trotting, and then he just runs, and they run, and he got to the fucking door of his cabin, and this happened twice, and then he got a rifle out and just started shooting them.
Gotcha.
They were running at him. He shot 3 of them.
I mean, I don't know the situation, but turning your back on a pack of wolves and running. I mean, maybe they were already advancing. I don't know, but that just sounds
terrible.
Yeah, acting like prey is a good way to get killed.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really wise man.
Yeah,
and he really understands the woods and nature as good as anybody. But I think he was one of those situations where he knew he could get back to the cabin, and if he didn't get back to the cabin, the way they were approaching him, they were getting closer and closer. Like, look at that pack.
Oh my God,
isn't that amazing?
That is a phenomenon in itself.
Yes.
You don't see packs of 20 wolves ever.
Yes. Yeah. He was saying that one of the largest documented packs in that area was 18. So this is actually bigger than that. And they had a moose down. So they had this moose calf down in the middle of this frozen lake. That guy is so interesting, man.
Yeah.
I really loved the podcast with him because, he had just decided, like, I want to try to live, like, as close to nature as possible. No vehicles, nothing. Just snowshoes and a rifle, living in a tiny little cabin, eating nothing but meat.
Really?
Nothing
just what
but
he
meat
collects.
and fat. Yeah.
Wow.
And, get really close to starving at one point in time.
That's when he started. This is what it looked like. It says 2004.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with the show, but I haven't actually watched it. He's on the Life Below Zero.
He was.
Gotcha.
He didn't get along with them.
Gotcha.
Because, he's a really unique character, and I think they had a hard time with his uniqueness.
Sure.
he's out of all those people on that show, he's living the weirdest life.
Right.
Because all the other ones are like, oh, they have sled dogs, and they, they gather salmon for their dogs with a, one of those salmon wheels, and then they, they have a cabin, and they have a fire in the cabin, and then they're living and they're eating dinner on plates and shit like that. Not him, man. He's living in this one little shack that he built himself. Everything he's eating is food that he shot and killed walking around.
Wow.
He stole a caribou from a wolf.
What?
A wolf killed a caribou and he ran up and stole it because he was starving. I mean, it's like
amazing.
The guy's living as close to wild as you could possibly get, other than the fact that he has bullets and a gun but even he starts fires. He wasn't using matches to start fires because he could run out of matches.
That's unbelievable.
So he's using like flint and steel and shit. Like,
what?
Yeah.
What's his motivation? Why does he just want to be closer to nature?
Yep.
Like, that's it?
Yeah. You should listen to it if you get a chance. He's a really unique person, and just that he doesn't have he has an outhouse today. He doesn't have a toilet. He doesn't have running water today in Fairbanks. So so he's got a plot of land in Fairbanks. He built a house there, and he doesn't have plumbing. He's like, that's too much work. You gotta, he just goes outside and it's 50 below outside. He's shitting in a hole in the ground. Like,
I have so much respect for that. I mean, I'll do it for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time on an excursion. I'm very happy to get back to a bed and a shower, and man. that's a whole nother level.
I've never gone more than 7 days.
Yeah,
I've done these 7-day hunts, like the one where I got this mule deer right here was with my friend Steve Ranella when he introduced us to hunting. And this was in Montana, and it was October, and it got down to like 9 degrees outside. And we're sleeping in these tents, and it was wonderful. I mean, it was a fantastic experience. It really opened my eyes to real wild and wilderness, what it's like to hunt, and then at the end of this week, we went back to Billings and we got a hotel room and I got a shower, and I was like, oh my God, a hot shower after a week in the woods, like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was with Brian Callen, and me and Callen was like, how goes that shower? Like, oh my God.
It's not what you think.
The best thing ever. It's the most amazing shower ever. You don't appreciate showers because you get in them all the time.
No.
Especially in California, because it doesn't get 9 degrees here.
Right.
So being outside, freezing your ass off, but also having the reward of like actually shooting a deer, and then we ate a lot of it that night, and we were cooking it over the fire, and then the whole trip was done on the Missouri Breaks. So we're on the Missouri River, and so we took the river 40 miles.
Oh wow, canoes?
Yeah, canoes, and and we had all our cargo and all our shit in there, and we're rowing, and so just a long ass journey. It was pretty intense.
Yeah,
and to go back to civilization after that, it's like you